Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks postgame show. I'm Jay Zawaski with Greg Boysen and Mario Tirabassi. The Hawks beat the Calgary Flames 3-1 at the United Center. Woohoo!
Woo!
During our takeover. A lot of fun tonight.
We took over.
Down in the 100 level. We were among the celebrities at the game.
Yes.
It was us.
Lots of screen time for the celebrities tonight.
Yeah. That's right. It was then to a lesser extent CM Punk and Jey Uso and Jackie Redmond.
And the cast of Shorzy.
But we were the biggest stars there. Yes. There were people there specifically to see us. Just going to say it.
There were some.
And our continued success at takeovers. I mean, I know the Chelios game didn't go the way we had planned.
Hey,
point streak.
It was a point.
Seven out of 8 available points in CHGO takeovers.
That just means
3-0-1.
Is it? Are we not 4-0-1? Are we including the sweet night when Jonathan
Taze's 1,000th game?
Didn't they win that game?
I mean, that wasn't a CHGO takeover.
CHGO
That was a
in the
CHGO company.
that was
outing.
the origin of the
we can't get our
CHGO
cards.
bump.
Yes, that's why we can't be official. But
That's right.
That's okay.
Wait,
I mean, if we wanna include
Did
it,
they lose
sure.
that
We're
game? They lost that
4-0-1.
game. No,
Did
they lost that
Oh,
game.
that doesn't count.
It
doesn't
in fact,
count.
the winning goal went off of Taves' skate, didn't it?
Damn you, Taves.
So then, no, we don't count.
We don't count.
No, it doesn't count.
It wasn't a takeover.
Then no, not a takeover.
Hey, do us a favor.
3-0-1
If you're with us on
takeovers.
YouTube, thank you. Thanks for being patient while we navigated traffic. Smash that like button for us. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page as well. Podcast listeners, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're going to get to your comments. You send us a super chat. We'll get to that for sure. Mm-hmm. But let's start with this game. And, you know, when you dig into the numbers, you see the Hawks getting outshot 39-27. I know the metrics were not in their favor, but at no point in this game did I really feel like the Hawks were in really any danger of losing it. You start with a 5-on-3 basically to start the game.
Yeah,
Which is great. You get a goal.
take advantage.
There was a lot of volume from Calgary, but a lot of it was perimeter. A lot of it was from distance.
Yeah.
Not that they played poorly, but the big saves he had to make, Peter Mrazek made, and I think it was just a very solid 60 minutes start to finish for the Hawks.
Yeah, I mean talk about message received. Starting the game on time, taking advantage of that power play. They didn't score on the 5-on-3, but they did get the 5-on-4 power play goal following that. And then shortly after that, you get up 2-0, play with the lead, like completely different energy than they had to start the last game on what was that, Saturday night? So you love to see that. And then they rode that through the first period. Second period, Calgary, kind of turns things on. And the Blackhawks kind of ride the wave out through the second period. Third period, you get up 3-0, and then it was basically just like let's just ride this out. They played well.
Yeah.
Like getting up to 39, 40 shots is a little much, but yeah, like you said, like a lot of the early shots, like that second period, I think they were outshot like 14-6. A lot of those shots weren't like really challenging Mrazek. About midway through the third period, I was sitting with my dad, and he was just like, Mrazek really hasn't been challenged. And I look up at the board, I'm like, he's got 30 shots on him. But it was not a lot of dangerous shots. He made the saves that you needed, and big game from Jason Dickinson, big game from, that whole line, Dickinson, Anderson, and Slaggert had a wonderful game. So yeah, top to bottom, like a great response to their last outing.
Well, let's get to the stars of the game here before we move on any further. The 3 stars of the game: Peter Mrazek, your number 3 star, with 38 saves on 39 shots. Landon Slaggert with 2 assists and nearly his first NHL goal. Looked like he kind of knew it wasn't in. He was like, get peeked over his shoulder.
It was close.
I think Dickinson grabbed him and said, "Just act like it went in.
Yeah,
act like
as
it
hard
went
as
in.
you possibly can.
Yeah.
Sell it.
Yeah.
Sell it.
Sell it.
So great game for Slaggert and Jason Dickinson, your number 1 star with 2 goals. So here are your 4th star nominees. Joey Anderson, whoa, 2 assists, 12:57 on 1 shot. Conor Bedard, an assist, 21:19 of ice time, 5 shots on goal, and 9 shot attempts. 3 of his shots on goal coming on those first 2 power plays. And the other nominee, Seth Jones, 1 goal, 27-21 of ice time, 2 shots, and 5 shot attempts. So lots of good candidates. Get your votes in, and we'll reveal the winner at the end. But my big takeaway from this one is just that message from yesterday's practice was absolutely received by this team.
Yeah.
That's what you wanted to see. You had one of your worst starts of the season, your worst start of the season in San Jose, and then you come back and you play one of your best games of the season.
For sure.
And, you know, we went from having to have discussions on, Luke Richardson's to blame for all these slow starts. We should fire him. He's not good. To, hey, see what a little coaching does? It gets them right back, from the 9-minute mark of the second period on Saturday till now. They've played pretty well, and it's so strange that this is the 3rd season finale in a row, season series finale, where they've played a team where they've won the season series against. The Ducks, Sharks, and Flames, they have gone 2 of 3
How about
against
that?
all 3. We own the Pacific Division, except for the Oilers and Canucks.
Yeah, well,
Hey, we can still win the season series against the Vegas Golden Knights, last game of the year.
That is true. That makes the game interesting.
Wouldn't that be amazing
That would be fun.
if the Hawks beat them and they missed the playoffs? They do it 2 years in a row. They do it to the Penguins last year.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Knights are not
They're not.
guaranteed.
They're not
the
locked
Blues
in.
are
No.
coming.
Yeah, they're not locked.
Wouldn't that be
locked in.
amazing if they beat the Golden Knights and after all the salary cap manipulation they make and they miss the playoffs?
They have like 22
because
million in
Landon
buried cap.
Slaggert scores.
Yeah,
the game. Yeah. Who's this year's Buddy Robinson? Jason Megna puts
It would
them
be-
out of
yeah.
there.
I'd go Joey
That would be
Anderson.
amazing.
Probably Megna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robinson, Anderson.
No, Joey Anderson's had a much bigger impact on
But
this team than
For
Buddy
all the
did.
chatter we heard yesterday, though, about this team has tuned out Luke Richardson, there's your evidence to the contrary.
Yep.
Is you had a team come out on fire. They draw a penalty. They draw 2 penalties. They score. Conor Bedard didn't leave the ice for the first 3.5 minutes of the game. They just and shout out to Seth Jones and Bedard and Kurashev on those first power plays, keeping the puck in the zone, moving it on the tape back and forth. This team came out in this game ready to play.
Yeah.
And what I like about this win is it's fun to beat Anaheim. It's fun to beat San Jose, of course. And Calgary's nowhere near what a lot of people thought they were going to be, but they're not a complete bottom feeder.
No.
They're not a complete suck show. So to get a win against a decent team, coming off a bad performance where you got the win but didn't deserve it, to come back and respond at home against an actual quality NHL team, that feels nice. And I think I'm curious to see what they're going to be saying post game about this one, because I think this one, and of course, we're in the recency bias, of course, but this one just feels that was a good one to win. They've got to feel good about that.
That was a complete effort. Like, you had really good, taking away the high danger opportunities, making a lot of the shots that Mrazek had to save easy for him to save. Hey, Greg, there you are there's your lookalike in the chat there.
That is him.
And then, offensively, take advantage of the power play. You had a number of opportunities on odd man rushes tonight, which was great to see. You saw really good puck movement. There's really, when you can come away from a game where you go up and down the lineup and you say, I don't think anyone really had a bad game.
No,
like that's for this team. That's a really positive. That's a really positive sign. And one guy I want to mention. We don't have to dive too much into it because we got a lot to get to. But one guy, I think had a really solid game with breaking up plays in his own zone tonight was Wyatt Kaiser. Like, I was watching him a lot, and I was just like, man, every time the Flames had a rush chance kind of in on his side when the Hawks were in the defensive zone. He was tying up sticks. He was breaking up passes. He was getting into corner battles. Like, he was really active on that end of the ice tonight, which I thought was a really good sign.
I noticed he's really strong behind the net.
Yeah.
And for a guy who's not big and not completely filled out to his complete, NHL body, he kind of has a knack for using his leverage for what he's got. So instead of being able to lean on a guy and just put his weight on a guy, he can use his speed to deliver a little bit of a separation of a hit. And he kind of swings his ass in the guys, kind of boxing him out like basketball style.
Yeah.
But he's got the speed where if a guy's behind the net, I saw Kaiser do this 3 or 4 times tonight when the Hawks were defending on our side. Kaiser would use his speed, get in front of him, and then just kind of swing his butt right in front of the guy, and then he's got the hands to free the puck away.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that from him.
Yeah, he's a guy that's learning that he's not the biggest guy in the world. He's got to defend against a lot of bigger guys, and he's learning. And it's all about leverage out there when you're the smaller guy. Get lower, use some leverage, get people off their center of gravity. He's been impressive since he was since his return. Like,
Yeah.
he looked good the first 5 or 6 games this year, and then it was kind of like the league adjusted to him, and he couldn't make that readjustment.
Yeah.
His last 5-6 games here before they sent him back down, he really struggled. And you could see it was almost getting too much for him.
Yeah.
Everything started to panic. He felt the pressure. Since he's come back, and even when we were in Rockford for the Corey Crawford game, we talked to Ice Hogs head coach Anders Sorensen after the game. We asked him about Kaiser, and he even said it took him 5 or 6 games to get used to the AHL game, because the AHL game's a different beast.
It's different. Yeah.
Much more physical.
Yep.
And he said once he figured that out, it took off. And I think he took some of that, some of those lessons there, learned where you had to be more physical, and learning how to be a smaller guy against bigger players. He's definitely applied that to here, and he's been very impressive these couple games back. I don't see why he'll finish out the season here and then go play the playoffs in Rockford. He could do that. He became a real key player down there. I don't think they want to,
play without him.
Some playoff games down there would be really good for him and a lot of these guys.
Yeah, definitely. There's another Hawks defenseman I want to make sure we focus on at some point too, but let's get to some super chats first. We got one here from Nathaniel. $5 says, I was at the Anaheim Hawks 0-4 loss and was very disappointed, but this game was exciting to watch.
Yes, it was.
And Evil Bills, who is with us at the takeover, says, thanks for the awesome takeover and great meeting everyone. Catch it all in the AM. Hawks win. That was a good time.
Yeah.
Evil Bills was there.
Him and his son.
And Anthony, his son. Evil Bills is kind of holding court. Ponied up at the bar at Crossroads. He was toasting people, taking pictures with the bartender, buying drinks for everybody. He was having a great time at the game. It
was awesome.
We love when y'all come out and enjoy the night with us. And we had so many awesome people out there. We had Evil Bills and Anthony. We had Marty and John, who I think they've been to every takeover we've had. We had Adult Haircut Dave, formerly known as Ponytail Dave. Bex was out there. We had
it was great.
The usual crew, some new faces. It was great. It was a great night.
A couple kids in the crowd too.
Yeah, the K-Duck kids. Eddie was here.
CHGO little ones, and it was awesome.
And Emma, our intrepid social media reporter, referred to me as her work dad today.
Oh boy!
Well,
So-
you did have,
How did that make you feel?
you did have generic brand butterscotch in your pocket.
I did bring my own butterscotch to the game. I did. Yes, I did. Do you think that how high is shirtless dark guy's dick? Never mind. I'll think about that later. But yeah, thanks for that, Emma. That was great.
That's
Appreciate
funny.
that. All right,
funny.
we are in the break zone.
Do we want to hit one more?
One more
chat?
super chat. Let's
One more
do
super
it.
chat.
Michael Childers says Slaggert 100% passes the eye test. Love what I'm seeing from Kaiser since the call up with what Bedard, Vlasic, Korchinski, and Kurashev have shown. It's a nice group to watch develop with more young players to come up.
Yep,
Absolutely.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, Slaggert is interesting tweet. Slaggert's one of those guys. Like, I mean, we've watched him over the years at Notre Dame, seen how his game progressed. Watched him as a senior this season. It was a much different, much different version of him than the previous 3 years. And now since he's gotten to the NHL, he's gotten used to the speed of the game. And we were talking to him yesterday after practice, just kind of candidly, and he said that he said something to the effect of that the game. He has more time than he expected at the NHL level to make decisions and make plays. He was expecting it to be much faster than it has been, and he's like, "Oh, I can play at this level." Yeah. It's not overwhelming him, which is great to hear.
The funny thing too is when I said and we talked to him, no mic, no recorder. We just wanted to say hi,
chatting.
And I said what's been the biggest adjustment? He said living alone. His first thought wasn't even hockey.
Yeah.
It was just, it's the first time I've not had a roommate or lived with my family or whatever.
That's true.
So, I mean, it's good to see him adjusting. And a lot of people, I've seen this a lot of people with the Brandon Hagel comparisons.
Because he looks like him physically.
I'm pumping the brakes on that a little bit.
I will say, he looks like, he reminds me of when Brandon Hagel first got to the professional game. Like, he was unsigned as a Sabres prospect, and then had big numbers in juniors, and then came to the Blackhawks, played in Rockford for a bit, and then came up to Chicago. He reminds me a lot of that early version of Brandon Hagel, where high motor, not afraid to not a big guy, but not afraid to go into corners, go to the front of the net, play that high energy style of game. I really like what Landon Slaggert brings to the table. His small sample size so far has been really good. I'd love to see what he looks like in camp next year. And hey, I think if he continues to play the way he has these last 10 games now, and has a good summer, he might not really see much of Rockford. He might be in Chicago for a while.
I know it seems Hagel is a good comparison. A lot of people like to do Hagel for a lot of prospects. Oh, he could be the next Hagel. But, I mean, he physically looks like Hagel, but you're right to the point of very similar to the way they started. Landon Slaggert fits the mold. He's exactly, even though he wasn't drafted by Kyle Davidson, he is the exact type of player Kyle Davidson wants for this team. So he wasn't, he was a he who shall not be named. Hey, that guy goes to Notre Dame. I draft everybody who goes to Notre Dame.
Sometimes it works out.
And, hey, it hit.
Sometimes it works out,
Maybe he'll be the first Landon Slaggert. How about that?
Fine.
Settle for
That'd
that.
be good.
Hey, so far so good. He's this close to being a 3-point, 4-game kind of a player.
Almost.
Yep.
And, hey, if you want to put some shekels down on Landon Slaggert's first NHL goal whenever it might happen, do it through our friends at Circa Sportsbook. They're the best sportsbook around. They have tight moneyline splits and a low hold model. Their games will strive to be at a -110 split, for example, on their Circa Sports menu, when other sportsbooks may have that same line at -115 or a -120 split. Circa Sports keeps as little money as possible on large market bets, especially compared to those other books. And what's really great about Circa, they don't limit winning players. They want you to try and take as much money from them as possible. Other books will limit those who are winning their bets. So Circa encourages bettors to download and explore all of the sports betting apps available, compare the lines, and see that you are going to get all the best from Circa. And speaking of the best, customer service. It's the best with Circa because there are real people behind the Circa Sports brand who resolve issues in a timely fashion, unlike the other sportsbooks who use chatbots. Boo! They stink.
Dicks.
All aspects of the app are being run by the same people that run the main Circa Sportsbook at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. What you want to do is download the Circa Sports Illinois app at circasports.com/Illinois-app. Sign up today and also be on the lookout for Circa events, watch parties, and tailgates. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537. Text GAMB, G-A-M-B, to 833-234. Or visit areyourreallywinning.com.
Hey, and if you're in the market for a new vehicle, we've got great news for you. Our partner, Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Fox Lake, is celebrating the Jeep celebration event all month long. And you know what that means?
What does it mean?
You are able to rave about their savings on a wide selection of inventory. For a
Like Jey
limited
Uso.
time. For a limited time, he was under the influence of some substances. Lease
having a good time.
New 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo Altitude. That's a lot of words for one car. For $439 a month for 39 months. If that isn't big enough for you, you could check out the third row and lease a new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited L for $479 a month.
L, Calgary.
That price seems more like a W than an L at
It
Ray
sure does.
Chrysler Dodge Jeep and
Ram.
You'll always be able to shop one of the Chicagoland's largest inventories and drive home with more money in your pocket than you expect thanks to Ray's Price Promise. You're such a swell guy, Ray. Don't miss out. Shop great deals all month long and save big because at Ray, CDJR, I'm not doing it every time, makes buying a new vehicle more affordable than ever. But that's not all. Just for listening, you out there, you get a free oil change when you mention CHGO at the service center or mention CHGO when you book online at Ray, CDJR/service. But you have to schedule before April 1st. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle, you have to check out the team at Ray, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram because they're the only team we recommend. Visit them today on Route 12 at Fox Lake. For more information, head over to raycdjr.com. Serving the community since 1963.
Saw a quote earlier from Lord Hossa, I believe, who said, I don't think I like Donato on the top line with Bedard. I know it sounds crazy, but I'd try Slaggert on the top line with Bedard and Kurashev just for the speed and motor. There is no problem with that to me.
Sure, give it a try.
Why not?
I don't mind that at all.
I do like him with Dickinson and Anderson, though, and I don't think he's going to split that line. The lines are staying the same for the next game.
I mean, why mix up?
At some point,
that line just dominated.
But
tonight.
I really
don't
like
split 'em up.
Slaggert on that line because he just looks to the other two guys on that line, and that's exactly how he should play.
Yeah,
and how he is playing. Like those are the perfect two guys to be like, okay, kid, just do what we do, and you'll be okay. And it worked out pretty well. But if you want to put Slaggert up there for a little bit, give him a taste. I got no. I got no problem there.
I think what Luke likes is on that with Bedard and Kurashev, having someone else who can do a little bit more of what they don't, i.e. going into corners, behind the net, front of the net, dig pucks out, get it to them, play physical, stuff like that. Things that Foligno does well, things that Donato does well at times. I think Luke likes to have a guy like that up with them. Yeah. I think he also likes to have a third option of someone who can take a face-off. Between Bedard and Kurashev, those are guys who flip-flop center wing in their positioning at face-offs. Foligno and Donato as well can take face-offs. Because Bedard is not strictly every face-off, every opportunity centerman.
Right.
Soon, there were times Kurashev took a draw tonight, times Foligno or Donato took a draw tonight with Bedard on the ice, and as soon as the face-off's taken, he shifts to the center position right after that.
Yeah, Bedard had a rough night at the circle tonight.
Yeah, so he's still going to have some growing pains at the
Foligno
dot.
Was 10 for 11 tonight. He won 10 out of 11 draws.
That's pretty good.
That's impressive.
Pretty good.
So you had a guy go 91% on your team, but you still finished at 38%
Yeah,
on the
that's
night.
rough. Well,
that's a rough night.
Yeah.
But hey,
so
who cares?
I don't know how much. I mean, Slaggert played mostly wing at Notre Dame, especially this season. I think he was always at the wing position. So I don't think he's that kind of mold, but I think the way he plays fits it. So
yeah, give it a spin. I mean, what the heck?
Kurashev takes draws too, and there's lots of ways you could do it.
Yeah,
it's not cut and dry, but
no,
within a game, give it a shift or two, see what it looks like, and give those young guys an opportunity to grow and grow and play together, and I'm all for it for sure.
Before the break, I mentioned a defenseman I wanted to mention too, and our vantage point where we were behind the net in the corner that the Hawks defended twice in the 100 level gave us a unique view of the Hawks defenseman. And goddamn, is Alex Vlasic good?
Yeah,
he is just so positionally sound, so good with his stick. he reads plays so well. Where like, okay, maybe if the puck was like a tick closer to me, I wouldn't go offensive with it. But he seems to have the right reads all the time. And of course, he's so rangy and long that he takes up a ton of space. But it seems like every decision he had to make that was split second, he made the right one. And it wasn't always just to be safe. It wasn't always just to like default to fall back and defend.
Yeah.
And we've seen that from him as the season's gone on, where he is now being a lot more aggressive offensively. Not to the point of like Jones or Korchinski are ever going to be, or you know what I mean, or he's not like a Brian Campbell type.
Yeah.
But he's now that he feels so much more comfortable defensively, that offensive part came. But just watching him make decisions and watching him process the game was so impressive. He plays like a guy who's been in this league for 15 years. He really does. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for him, because what's in the present is pretty effing good.
Yeah, I think he has definitely planted his flag in the ground. I'm very interested to see what his second contract is gonna look like. He's due one this summer, so we'll see. But yeah, I mean, he is turned into a top paired defenseman without question on this team. Playing with Seth Jones all year has definitely helped him, and he's a good example of that. More typical prospect development process. He was drafted in the second round, 3 years of college, got a month stint in the NHL, and then did a whole year in the AHL before getting back up to the NHL this season. So definitely a good example of guys that will likely take some time to get to that level, but then when they do, early on, as he's 22. I mean, if you could have a 22-year-old that's an NHL regular and not just keeping his head above water, but actually thriving,
right,
like that's impressive. I've been really happy with him and his game, and yeah, I mean, there's the processing speed at the NHL level is hard to get to. Not everybody can do it. There's some guys that have a lot of raw skills, but they just can't play at the speed of the NHL level. And for Vlasic at this point in his career to be able to do that, that's impressive.
The future is bright on the Blackhawks blue line, that's for sure.
More to come too.
Vlasic looks like the real deal. Korchinski, his future is bright. There's still a lot of development left to make there, but we've seen flashes that Kaiser could be a thing. You still have Del Mastro and Allen looking good in the AHL. Sam Renzel is a project guy that maybe in 2-3 seasons we're talking about him.
And I mean, his ascent since they drafted him has been
you know what? Don't be surprised. That second or third pick this year, if you don't get number one, is another defenseman. Like
very likely,
they're building from the back end out, and that's very smart.
And sorry to interrupt you,
but
go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just it's looking good defensively here in Chicago, and when you have an overabundance of young defensemen, just don't fall in love with every single one of them, because one of those guys is probably going to eventually be used to go out and get a missing piece.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, hey, we've got 7 really good young defensemen, but we really need that second line center.
Oh, that's
I mean,
you
like
deal
the
from
case-
a you
like
deal from a pace
the
a
Bowen
place of
Byram,
strength.
Casey Middlestat type trade.
Exactly.
That's
so
it's good. You can never have too much defense. That's for sure.
And I remember this week Scott Powers for The Athletic wrote about 7 potential defensemen the Hawks could bring in this summer, free agents, kind of looking like they want to go the Foligno, Perry, maybe not Taylor Hall level defenseman,
Get
like on a
somebody like
short-term
that,
deal
yeah.
to fill the gaps before.
At first I was kind of like, I don't really want to go out and get another veteran defenseman for term. If anything, you're
2
going to have
years?
Connor Murphy back. But then when the way Scott phrased it, it made sense to me. He said, you've had Seth Jones with Alex Vlasic all season. Look how great that's worked for Alex Vlasic.
Yeah.
They
And
want
Seth Jones, frankly.
yes, and they
That's
now
true.
they want a guy like that for Kevin Korchinski next season. I was like, okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
Now, when you said it like that, then it was like, okay, so if you do want to go out and pay a little extra for Chris Tanev to be Kevin Korchinski's Seth Jones,
I don't
then
mind that.
I'm on board for it. Like, at first, I was kind of like, I think we're fine. We don't need to go out and get a veteran D. You're going to have Connor Murphy back next. If anything, bring back Nikita Zaitsev. He's been fine. But
Sure.
when you phrased it like, hey, they want a mentor for Korchinski, then I was like, all right, that makes 100%. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think if you go into next season and your right side is all veterans and your left sides are all young guys, Vlasic, Korchinski, maybe Kaiser, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, the names Powers mentioned, Alex Carrier from Nashville, Jalen Chatfield from Carolina,
I like him.
Yeah.
Brendan Dillon from Winnipeg,
Yeah, sure.
Alec Martinez from the Golden Knights. He's 112 years old. Justin Schultz
I
from
haven't figured it
Seattle.
out for 2014 either.
Ian Cole's 100 years old.
No.
Yeah,
And Chris Tanev, who's
Yeah.
34.
Chris Tanev would be wonderful.
that'd be
Great
that'd
defenseman.
be great,
Huge. If he's not top of the league in block shots, he's close to it.
Yeah.
yeah, that'd
So-
be it.
And he's a guy that Dallas went out and got to all bolster their blue line, which is a really solid group for the postseason, and that's a sneaky great move.
But the fact that, look, Scott Powers usually doesn't write something like that without a little bit of knowledge of what the team is actually thinking. He is, I would say, among the most inside of this organization as it gets.
Yeah.
And I think this indicates that if this, with the opening day lineup this year wasn't enough evidence for you, the tank is done. They're not trying to tank out anymore. Injuries caused it to happen this year, and the Corey Perry situation caused it to happen this year. But they're ready to start inching up a little bit in the standings and play a handful of more meaningful games per season.
I would think next season's roster is going to have enough young guys on it that they're going to want a lot more competitive games deeper into the season for those guys to have that experience at the NHL level. So, yeah, I think you got Foligno, Dickinson, Mrazek, all got extensions this year. Taylor Hall is coming back next year. Should be healthy. Connor Murphy is back again. He should be healthy. You're probably going to have maybe one or two young guys come on up either from college or Rockford or what have you. Maybe somebody in the draft this year pops up right away. So, yeah, I think I would like to think that they're not going to be bottom five next year so long as everyone's healthy.
Yeah, you wouldn't think.
Healthy enough.
And if you want to ensure you get a guy like Chris Tanev here, give him a bonus in bacon.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
And not just bacon, but bacon from our guy, Charlie the Bacon Guy. Now, Charlie, I don't think you're in the chat now. Maybe you are.
Chat.
But he'll be listening at some point. More people asked where you were tonight than any of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
People thought you were part of the tandem. You were going to be part of the team, and you were going to be at the takeover tonight. So
I think Evil Bills thinks that Charlie lives here.
I wish he did.
wish
Just
he
makes
did.
us bacon. I mean, that'd be
I
fine.
wish he just
I'd
followed
be,
us
I'd
with,
be
like-
900 pounds if he did, but
Just put a portable grill around his neck and
Yeah.
just follow us around.
But anywho, Charlie, you're a very popular guy, and it's because you have the world's best bacon based out of Woodridge, Illinois. Charlie is not only our friend, but he makes craft bacon and bacon jams in over 35 flavors, naturally cured, preservative-free products. There aren't any ingredients that Charlie can't pronounce himself involved in the process, unlike most of that crummy store-bought bacon that's right next to the chat box. Vacuum sealed, it freezes perfectly. Bacon lasts in the package up to 60 days in the fridge, 1 week after the seal is broken, and 9 months in the freezer. The bacon jam lasts about 90 days in the fridge, up to a year in the freezer. But if you're keeping bacon in the freezer that long, you have problems. It needs to be eaten much faster than that. The bacon jam goes perfectly on anything. What is bacon jam? It's spreadable bacon.
Yes.
It can go on your scrambled eggs, your toast, with or without jelly, crackers, burgers, grilled cheese, cinnamon rolls.
Yep.
Yes,
It
all
could
of those
go
things.
in other places that we've mentioned in past late night episodes.
You can put things in it.
This is true. And then put that thing never mind. Head over to Charlie's website, charliethebaconguy.com, where you can check out the Bacon Vault. It's all of his flavors made in the past. And if they're not currently available, give Charlie about 2 weeks and he'll make it for you. He's got awesome merch, beanies, hats, t-shirts, stickers, and coffee mugs. Try the maple pepper, chorizo, French toast, honey chipotle, Cajun, raspberry chipotle, the Maui Wowie. They're all great. Bacon jam comes in original, bourbon, mango habanero, and my favorite, the cherry jalapeno. And starting now, you can save 10% on your order at charliethebaconguy.com when you use the code CHGO at checkout. You can go pick it up, or he can bring it to you, or you can meet halfway. Heck, he'll even put it in a box and ship it to you. He makes the bacon so you can bring it home.
Good
That's
stuff.
right.
The very popular
Best stuff.
Charlie the Bacon Guy.
And we had our pregame at Crossroads today, and the Coors Lights were flowing, and we were ready to go when the game was ready to go, and it helped us chill before our takeover. Helps me loosen up because I'm not the best around people. Coors Light helped take the edge off. Love Coors Light. It is my go-to at home or on the road. Coors Light is my go-to beer because it is just, well, frankly, it's awesome. And it's always cold. This has been sitting out here for 40 minutes, still cold. And when those mountains turn blue, well, this is almost gone, so they're not really blue anymore because it's like down to here.
These lights are warm.
But when the mountains turn blue, it's as cold as the Rockies. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. When it's time to chill, open a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. When it's time to chill, Coors Light is the beer we reach for here at CHGO Blackhawks. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO Hockey. Again, that's CoorsLight.com/CHGO Hockey. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. I see we have a whole bunch of super chats we got to get to here. Law.
Speaking of
Let's
Golden,
fire those up.
Super chats.
RCD3 has a $5 super chat. Says, love the game tonight. Brought my 3 eldest daughters, 8, 9, and 11, out to the 238 section for mine and my 8-year-old birthday.
Nice.
Did not disappoint. Happy birthday to you and your 8-year-old.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Were you the ones that started the wave?
Oh, the wave
I'm
and
pointing at you.
Oh, it started
During
behind
a
us.
power play?
Penalty kill.
During a penalty kill.
Either
yeah.
way, what are we
watch the
doing?
game.
It was, it was a choice.
I could feel Troy Murray's glare all the way down from the press box.
That was a choice in the 300 level.
Yeah,
tonight.
that's something I never thought I would see in my lifetime would be a wave started at the 300 level of the United Center. But hey, you know, times are a-changing.
Times they are a-changing.
People are having fun. That's what matters. Windy City Hockey with a $5 super chat says I would have gone to the game if it wasn't a Tuesday. Living near St. Louis sucks. Well, yes, we know that.
Well, any day of the week, living near
Right.
St. Louis sucks.
Yeah,
You've come up to enough events. We'll forgive you this time.
Yeah, that's
exactly. And then Mango Unchained with a $5 super chat says probably one of the most complete games we've seen the Hawks play this year. Hopefully the Slaggert family gets to see him get one in at home soon.
That would be awesome.
Big cheer for him when he was named second star of the
Yeah.
game.
People like Landon Slaggert. He's an easy to root for guy, local-ish. It's and a guy that you wanna get excited for sure.
Yeah. Alex says, y'all hate on the Wave so much. It's fun, you boomers. I just think that you're paying a lot of money to go to a sporting event, and it's 2-0 at the time, and the opponent has a power play.
Yeah.
You might want to just keep an eye on the game.
Tell me you don't know what's
Hockey
going
is-
on without like
Hockey's one of those games that you want to try and keep your eyes on as much as possible.
I would think so.
Because the action is very continuous.
If you want to do it, cool, but I just...
And by
Yeah.
the way, I hated the Wave when I was like 15, so it's not just because I'm a boomer now.
Right. I just think...
Well, you were a boomer
Watch the
back
game.
then.
Right, but I wasn't a crotchety old boomer. I was a
Right.
young
You're
crotchety
a crotchety
boomer.
young boomer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baseball, like, the Wave is better for like baseball games.
Yeah.
Baseball and football.
Because you're not like baseball games. If you get up and do that, you're not missing anything.
Right.
Or you're
Where
not-
like
yeah.
hockey, like come on, I'm trying to watch a game. I'm trying to watch a game where literally a goal can get scored at any second from
Yeah.
anywhere in the ice. But let's stand up and do this cheer. But
I would say
whatever.
this. If
Hey,
the
at least the building was full enough for it to do the way.
It was great.
So,
And
Yeah, it was.
look, if it's...
it was great.
I just think there's a time for it. If it's 4-0 and there's 30 seconds left, or it's a blowout one way or the other, fine. But it's...
Or you want to incite a line brawl.
Yeah. But
well,
it's...
that's true. The last time they did it,
It's true.
The line brawl started, so
but
maybe
it's-
that's what it was.
Yeah.
It's 2-0, and you're killing a penalty. It just seemed like a weird time.
Wasn't the right time for it.
Yeah.
Like in the last 5 minutes of the game when it's 3-1 and it's
It
an
is.
empty net, sure, go for it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
listen, I'm not gonna gatekeep. I'm not gonna tell people how to fan. Do what
No.
you want.
Yeah.
But
Don't yuck their yum.
But
Well, you asked our
know,
opinion, so we told you.
Yeah, we got to get those PSA videos done.
I think so. I
Well,
think so.
yeah.
That is our summer homework.
Hey, and
project.
look, Nick Foligno told us he didn't mind when it happened either. He thought it was pretty cool. So, whatever.
I feel like it would, if I was on the ice, because you could tell, from just in the stands, the big cheers when the wave was actually getting picked up and going around the arena. I would feel like if I was on the ice killing a penalty and I heard random big cheers, it'd kind of throw me off a little bit.
a little bit.
I'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, what
Yeah.
are they cheering about? I'm blocking shots with my face over here. Like, come on now.
Just a weird time, but whatever.
That's all right. They still won the game.
Well, the best moment of the
They're
game.
undefeated when the wave. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have put that out in the universe, but they're 2-0.
I guess.
For the wave.
Wasn't
Yeah,
there a wave
sure.
earlier this year too?
I don't remember. There might have been one last year.
Might have been. No.
Yeah.
The best part of the game, though, came during a TV timeout when they were doing celebrity lookalikes from Calgary.
Yes.
And I've never been when they do this. So a little inside production, the cameraman comes to each section and he's got a sheet of the people they're going to
Celebrities.
show on the scoreboard, and it's their job to find people that somewhat look alike. And at first, he's got the camera on Emma
Yeah.
blatantly,
Yeah.
and she's just sitting there like, what is this going to be?
Deer in the
What is going to
headlights,
happen?
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I guess whoever he had pegged for Emma went to some other camera.
Might
So
have
then
been,
he
yeah.
readjusted, and then he was
He pulled.
right at,
He pulled
right
out
on
his
Greg.
sheet and looked at it again, and looked at our section again, and then he looked around, and then he came
Yeah, 'cause
back.
he left and he came back.
And then
yeah.
he came back and
Then I knew
pointed
it
it
wasn't
up,
me.
and I was like, "They're doing celebrities from Calgary." Greg has amazing 80s and 90s wrestling hair. It's gonna be Bret Hart.
And they showed, yeah.
And then they showed Bret Hart, and it was some jabroni with blonde hair,
I would've-
short blonde hair,
if
who
they
just
were-
happened to be wearing
If they were
sunglasses.
going to give me Bret Hart, I would have dumped a water bottle on my hair to make it all wet and curly.
that would have been perfect.
Then I would have put you in
And
the
put Kevin
sharpshooter.
K. in a sharpshooter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's my boss. I would have put Mario.
But
Why
then, as will see in the video, they went to the next guy whose name is Stephen Oog.
Stephen Ogg.
Stephen
I
Ogg.
don't know who he is, but-
the character, the real person who was the character model for Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5, which if you've played that game, Trevor is a maniac. But they put that up on the screen. The camera was deadlocked on Greg.
I knew it was coming.
And then we had this moment. There. It was wonderful.
I just think that,
Yeah.
and I said this to Greg, like, you played it perfectly. You didn't get all offended or cover your face. You just shrugged, gave it thumbs
Yeah.
up. That's how you got to do it. You just got to sit there and take
then
it.
of course, the phone starts blowing up because
Yes.
we have a
The beat writer
We have
chat.
a beat writer group chat that the Hawks use to give us.
We got all our breaking news we
updates.
keep from you guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And of course, Ben Pope and Phil Thompson and Jay Cohen are having some fun with it, and it's
yeah.
it's like the one day I play hooky, I get thrown. It's like the guy that calls in sick to work and goes to
it's
a
like Ferris
baseball
Bueller.
game. Yeah,
Yeah.
or like gets called in to work, calls in sick, goes to a baseball game, and it gets shown on TV catching the home run ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like, come on. But yeah, it was fun.
That was great.
I knew it was coming because the guy literally was right in front of me the
Yeah.
whole time. I was
Yeah.
like, just pick somebody that's like not a complete clown. And I was like, all right, I don't know who that is, but I'll take it.
I was certain it was going to be Bret Hart.
That would have been. I would have been. I would have gone.
I was going to say that was going to make your year.
That would have been. That would have been great. I would have. I would have leaned into that one. But
yeah. Yeah, when they showed him, like, oh, here he comes. But nope.
Yeah.
It was Stephen Ogg, who is
Apparently
all
he's
we're
in
being
The
told
Walking
also
I guess he's in The
Walking
Walking Dead too.
Yeah.
one of Negan's top henchmen. See,
I've never seen Walking Dead.
I bailed on The Walking Dead when they started slitting throats at the bathtub.
Ooh.
Remember that when they arrived? Was it Terminus?
I'd never seen it, so
That's when I was like,
wouldn't
you know what? This show
I
is bringing me
tried.
nothing but misery.
yeah.
It seems like one of those shows that's just depressing.
There's just no
moment
hope.
after depressing
There's
moment.
no hope for the entire show. It's
Yeah.
like everything that happens is worse and worse and worse.
Well, they're all Walking Dead, right?
Yeah, it's just like I was like, all right.
I tried. I watched it for like half a season.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is doing nothing.
We watched
for me.
maybe, I don't know when that was, maybe 2 seasons, 2.5.
Yeah.
And I looked at my wife and was like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
We finished the show and we feel horrible.
Lord Hossa says he was also in Better Call Saul.
Okay.
Another show I've never seen.
No. Yeah, I haven't watched that one.
Yeah, he has a certain character actor vibe to him.
I just know him as the guy from GTA.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he's in GTA 6, but he's a main character in GTA 5.
I mean, I did look at a couple other photos of him, and
that looks more like
the lookalikes don't
adult,
usually.
adult
It looks like
haircut.
adult
This
haircut
one wasn't
Dave.
Dave, yeah.
and then here he is with
that
a
one-
microphone. I thought that was
No.
That's
No.
Billy Bob Thornton. Tell me, yeah, I
none
like
of those scream Greg to
My
me.
enjoyment of the comparison has gone downhill since you started
That makes
showing
sense.
these pictures.
that's understandable.
Oh well.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, at least you got up on the Jumbotron. All the celebrities got up on the Jumbotron today. Greg, the
Yep.
cast of Shorzy,
Yeah.
CM Punk and Jey Uso and Jackie Redmond. It was quite the night.
So by cast of Shorzy, does that mean like the lead dude?
It
Yeah,
was
Jared Kiso,
It was
Terry Ryan.
Yeah, Jared
Terry
Kiso.
Ryan was there. It was Jared Kizo, the Shorzy.
You ever have chicken? Goody.
What's his name?
Ted Hitchcock.
Jonathan Diaby was there.
Huh.
And then the other guy.
Why were they here?
Goody is the character's
I
name.
don't know why
They were
they
out
went
to
to the-
dinner with
yeah,
Foligno
We
and
saw them.
Scott
Yeah,
Darling,
we saw them out to dinner with Foligno
last
and
night.
Scott Darling on
right
the
down
old
the street.
That seems
Instagrams.
like Nick should have told us about that.
Might they be in?
He hasn't been here in a while.
Might they be in town because of our guest tomorrow on tomorrow's show? Connection there,
Is there?
kind of, maybe a
Maybe?
little bit. I don't know.
Maybe.
But they were there.
Yeah,
so.
they were at the Trivoli on Green Street. I assume it was last night. That's when the picture was published.
Windy City Hockey is asking why Jackie Redmond was there. It wasn't NHL. Jackie Redmond also does stuff for WWE.
She does.
And WWE was at
WWE Raw.
Raw was in the Allstate
Allstate.
Arena last night, so she was hanging out with those guys. So she double dips between the NHL and the WWE.
The Rock put a beat down on Cody Rhodes in the rain last night. That was
Yes, he
quite the
did.
visual.
I enjoyed that.
beautiful.
He beat him with the Wolves logo.
I saw that.
Wolves got some free publicity last night as Cody Rhodes bled on their mural.
Bled.
Yep.
It's real blood.
Lead over. Let them know you're there. Yeah, Pete Blackburn not shown on the screen today. I don't know if he was there today.
CHGO Blackhawks 1, what chaos 0 when it comes to getting on the scoreboard.
Pete does, in fairness, usually get his
Well,
own private suite.
No, he
in
couldn't.
Hawks
He
games.
couldn't get his own suite because the guys from Shorzy had it.
Oh, well, let him go.
Because they were obviously upstairs.
In the
And speaking of
400s.
the All City family, by the way, congratulations to All City's own Jesus Doan.
Jesus? We got
works
Jesus?
for
Justin Doan? Why am I blanking on his name?
Josh Doan.
Josh Doan. Thank you.
Yes, PHNX's Josh Doan.
Scored his first goal tonight. in his NHL
First and
debut.
second, I think. I saw someone in
had
the
two?
chat said that he had 2. I'll double check
Nice.
that. Yeah,
Oh, wow, my
that's
brain just turned
that's
off.
quite the awesome moment, right?
Yeah, pretty good.
Like that's
Congratulations,
Coyotes legend Shane Doan, and then his son, born and raised and developed through the Arizona hockey system, played at ASU, drafted by the Coyotes, makes his NHL debut, and then 1-2 goals in his NHL debut. What a story.
Congratulations to the 700 people that saw it live.
You know, I'm trying to be positive here, but
His rookie lap was about as populated as this office is right now.
It was his family.
good job, Josh Doan.
Great
all the
story, though.
Doans.
I mean, even though he played in front of bigger crowds with the Chicago Steel, good player though. I saw him a few times with the Steel that year. They won the Clark Cup. He was a big time contributor. I actually
Yeah.
saw him while I was scouting in the North American League, the big Silver Stick tournament, the CCM Silver Stick tournament. The junior Coyotes were in that tournament. Shane Doan was coaching,
Nice.
and Josh Doan was on the team as a 16-year-old.
Well, it shows you what you can do when you have a rich parent
Well, just
as a hockey player,
ask
right?
Zach Hyman.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's the only reason he scored 50 goals because his parents were really rich.
Uh,
And
what a weird,
and I
weird hill to climb up and die
that
on.
guy that said that,
Yes.
Andrew Berkshire is a former colleague of mine. Known him for a long time.
Yeah.
Usually really smart, but that
was a very odd
odd
thing.
Way to lose respectability across the NHL real
It's
quick.
an odd thing to say.
Oh, I didn't see that because I have him blocked for some reason. I don't know why.
All right.
All right,
Well,
but he's blocked.
You may want
There
to
you
keep it
go.
that way.
He
'cause
must have said something wacky in
that
the
was
past.
a pile of stupidity to basically say, hey,
Quite odd.
we're going to downplay this accomplishment because he has really rich parents. Yeah, so does 90%.
He's a hockey player.
So does 90% of the NHL. Because guess
Yeah.
what? Playing hockey is expensive.
It ain't cheap.
No.
Playing rec hockey's not cheap. I just started. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes, it's not a very
Yeah.
accessible
so imagine,
sport.
going through the whole rigmarole to get yourself to the NHL. Like it's a
My favorite
takes a lot.
feature of Zach Hyman is that he is a published children's author.
He is?
Yes.
No kidding.
He
Really?
has children's books about hockey
Seems like a good
that
dude.
he published while he was still a student at the University of Michigan.
Look at that.
Oh.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And look,
Who knew Michigan kids could write?
But I mean, I guess when your dad owns the publishing company, you can get books.
sure, yeah. He's Mr. Penguin. Yeah, I just that whole thing. Look, Zach Hyman was a 5th round pick in 2010. He played 4 years of college hockey. Did not sign with the team that drafted him. And sure, has he played most of his career with the likes of Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid? Yes. Is it
Still
easy?
produced.
Is it easy to do the things he does, play the way he does, go to the front of the net night after night after night after night, and take that kind of punishment, and still be able to, find the puck, put the puck in the net in that area? No, it's not easy to do that. So, good on you for at this point of your career hitting the 50 goal mark. And I was looking at the stats. He's like 3 or close to 3 straight seasons of point per game hockey. Give the guy his credit. That guy. How many 5th round pick 4-year college players go on to have any kind of close to a career as he has had?
A lot of people are going to discredit it because, yes, he was on Austin Matthews' line for those years in Toronto. Now he's on Connor McDavid's line. Yeah, well, he's staying on those lines for a reason.
Yeah, it's
Right.
not easy to
Yeah.
It's not just step on the ice and
Right.
play
If it
with
was-
play
if it
with
was
those
easy,
guys, and you're going to be awesome
Ryan
too.
Donato would have been on Ryan Donato started the season on Conor Bedard's line. He would have never been taken off that line if it was so easy to do.
Correct.
To just stand there and score one great players around.
Not
him.
everybody that played with Patrick Kane became an all-star.
No.
A lot of them were, but not everybody.
Right.
You have to play with those kinds of guys. You have to do something special. See the game like them to understand how to put yourself in the best position
Yep.
to take advantage of
He's
their
like the,
skills.
Zach Hyman is like the Phil Jackson of the NHL, where he went from coaching a team that had Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, to coaching a team that had Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant in their primes.
He was also a really good coach.
And he was also a really good coach.
Yeah.
But it also helped
Yeah, it does.
be a really good coach when you have a lot of talent. It also helps you to be a really good hockey player when you're constantly surrounded by other really good hockey players.
I just don't think you just luck into 50.
No.
No, you don't.
I mean, okay, maybe 20 are lucky. Still scored 30.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn
Yeah,
good.
And look, if
regardless.
they hit the back of the net, it counts all the same.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Sam Reinhardt's out there doing it. He's
Now, would Zach Hyman have 50 if he played here? Probably not.
Probably not.
But to think he'd just be some dude is also very inaccurate.
Hyman with Bedard and Kurashev would be really nice.
I'm down with that.
I would love that. Yeah. Anyways, Jason Dickinson, 20 goals. Good job.
Yeah. All right, are we ready to declare our 4th start of the game? I know it was close for a while, but then I saw it towards the end.
Close, but yeah, I believe
A pull away.
we've had. Let's see. Let's give it to.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Seth Jones.
There you go.
Here's your
What a
4th start of the
What a
game.
difference a week makes.
27-21 of ice time, 2 shots, 5 shot attempts, and most importantly, a goal for Seth Jones. He has been on a bit of a goal-scoring run here all of a
I
sudden.
believe the hockey term is heater.
He is on a heater, that's for sure.
Was it 4 goals in his last 4 games?
I think that's correct.
He
had two the last game.
has 3. No, yeah, he has 3 goals in his last 2 games. 4 points in his last 5 games.
Okay.
4 games. Sorry.
4 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a point per game pace.
That's pretty
It
good.
is.
He's turned it up this last portion of the season,
7
which
goals
is
now
good
in
to
the
see.
season. So
Yeah.
Just because he plays with Joey Anderson.
Whoa.
Thank you.
There you go.
It is.
So
Wonderful.
Joey Anderson, by the way, so Jones finished with 41%, Anderson with 32, and Conor Bedard with 27. So there you go. There are your 4 stars.
Conor Bedard,
of the
third
game.
place.
Yeah, what a bum.
Jeez.
But it's good because
It's
we
what
were at a
0 for 8
point.
at the dot does for you, my
Well,
friend.
you know what though, and I think we'll get to Connor's corner here in a second. But as games are getting more competitive for the Hawks and they're winning, people are watching the games differently. They're actually like invested a little bit more because they've won a few. They're in this one. They're leading this one, so people are a little more invested in the game as opposed to just having it on in the background.
Or they're not just waiting for the Bedard shifts.
Yes,
Where it's
exactly.
Like, okay, Bedard's not out there. All right, I got 3 minutes to do something else. Like,
which is really nice to see at this point in the season, where it's not. While it would be fine if it was just the Conor Bedard show, but it's nice to have games where Bedard can contribute, but he's not the sole factor in them being in the game. Mrazek had a great game. Seth Jones had a good game. Jason Dickinson, Joey Anderson, Landon Slaggert all had a good game. Like top to bottom, this was a team effort win. Bedard was a contributor, but he didn't have to be a 5-point in the night player.
Right.
And you love to see that from this group at this point in the season, given the way that this whole year has gone.
Well, that leads us very nicely into Connor's corner. And we see you, Law, with the new addition to Connor's bedroom.
He's got a fire
The
hazard.
fire extinguisher to douse the flames, presumably.
Yes.
Very nice.
Now
What's on
notice-
his iPad?
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got a new iPad.
Is that
He's
porn?
been no,
That's next year.
no.
He's watching the Regina Pats goalie fight.
Nice.
That's wonderful.
And you'll also notice that he's got a new iPad. He got the little kitty.
Well, that's
oh
smart.
yes, he's got the
the padded
the carrying case.
yes, because,
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
that way
he's
when
been-
Luke
he's been
rips it out of
banging-
his hands and throws it,
Well,
it won't
and,
break.
and of course he's been like hitting the boards a lot. You know, he's.
Yeah, it's true.
Very
You
smart.
gotta
See?
protect the.
Love it.
Oh wait, we didn't actually look at the stats.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah,
fine.
that's right.
He's got stats.
That's
He had
wonderful
one-
detail. I love that.
1 assist, 5 shots on goal, 21-19 of ice time, including the first 3.5 minutes of the game. 9 shot attempts for Conor Bedard.
9
And like you guys were saying, like it's really nice to have a win where Conor Bedard was just another of the good parts of the game,
Yeah.
where he wasn't just the sole positive of the entire
Well,
game.
and that's got to do even subconsciously. That's got to be good for the rest of the guys to be like, we know Connor can carry us, but
Right.
like let's make it so he doesn't always have to. You know.
one of my all-time favorite sayings from passed down from my grandpa to my dad to me. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And that was just because he can take over a game doesn't mean he should every night,
Yeah.
unless he has to.
Yes. All right. And now it is time to declare the winner of Who's Your Hawk. And
Who's Your
while
Hawk?
Steve Ogg takes his head off to place the helmet on his head.
If I only had this on when they showed me on the Jumbotron,
I don't know who you would have looked like.
I've been like, I would look
You're
like
like a
the-
Tron guy right now.
I would
Yeah.
look like the guy that said, "Have you seen my baseball?"
Warren.
Yes, Warren. I
That's
could never
true.
remember Warren's name.
Movies that can't be
Franks
made anymore
and
for
beans.
$1,000,
Franks
Alex.
and beans. Did you
Yes.
get the Franks or the beans? Somebody, a couple
How'd you get
people.
the beans above the Frank?
I'm gonna have to watch that movie this weekend now. A couple people were asking earlier about where I got this awesome Blackhawks legend Bobby Orr shirt.
Yes.
It's a company Mint T, MINTEE.store. If you go on there, you literally can get like any hockey card from the 70s printed on a T-shirt. I got this
That's
and a
cool.
Stan Mikita, but they've got like ridiculous amount of obscure 70s hockey cards on there.
That's cool.
Like California Golden Seals players. Like I almost
wow.
got Tim Horton on the Buffalo Sabres. Like
Oh, nice.
it's really awesome site. So I recommend
cool
check them
shirt.
out. Yeah, I was surprised. I was worried about the quality. Like a lot of times you see these things. It was a Facebook ad that got me there.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this is going to be some piece of crap silk screen thing that's going to be 4 sizes too small. That's going to take 8 weeks to get from China, but I got it in less than 2 weeks, and it's a great shirt.
It's very cool. I was perusing the
If they
store today.
ever get like into the 80s or 90s, I'm going to need a second job.
We'll be bankrupt.
That'd be awesome.
Speaking of new merch, by the way,
Yeah. You
we
like
just
baseball?
launched some new stuff today for
like-
opening day.
You like barbed wire baseball bats? We got them.
I like
Defend your side.
all these
Defend your
shirts,
sides.
especially the Cubs ones. Defend the North
I
Side,
wonder if
Sunday
Stephen
Fun
Hogg
Day.
ever carried a barbed wire baseball bat in The Walking Dead. Maybe I need one
Maybe.
of those shirts.
Carrie
Yeah, maybe.
Negan's probably for a few scenes, I would
might have.
imagine.
Sunday,
very cool
Sunday
stuff.
Fun Day. It's good. Good
Head
stuff.
over to chgolocker.com to check out all the new stuff and, of course, the new-ish Chicago collection that came out a couple weeks ago. Really good stuff.
We got
Go check that out.
Cubs and Sox opening day coming up pretty
Oh my
soon.
gosh, that's Thursday.
Couple days
Thursday.
ago. Yeah, Thursday.
It's baseball season.
And
Baseball
Like
season
35
underway.
degrees out, and we're about to play baseball.
and mentioned on the Cubs show today, the Friday 120 Club.
Very
Friday
cool.
120 Club is coming.
That's a lot of fun. Every Friday 120 start, I believe. It's every one of them.
Yeah, there are I
Braggs
believe like
and
13
Cody
of them.
will be heading out to the bleachers and having some fun. Wish we could join them, but we got a job to do over the summer. Friday at 120.
Where is it? Where?
But that should be a lot of fun.
For that gig. I never didn't know that was up
Yeah,
for...
so
You can call in from the bleachers during those shows.
You know, they'll put me on the Jumbotron and blow my cover again.
And then you see the list there.
There's all the games,
there's
and
a lot of them. Some of them
also-
will have a live show afterwards.
That shirt is
So
sweet.
that's cool.
Yeah, and check out the shirt that you
I
can
do
get.
like that shirt.
That is
I
a
would
good.
get that.
That's a good shirt.
I mean,
yeah.
that's just fun right there.
Yeah.
Is that a red cup?
It is a red solo cup,
Nice.
which
Not
you
a
know,
cup snake though. Don't
No.
make a cup snake, otherwise you're
No,
in trouble.
It's
in the
a
bleachers.
red solo cup. We can now use it because that guy's dead and he can't sue us.
Toby Keith.
Ooh, red solo. Oh yes, that's right. Yeah. Ouch. Wow.
What a
Okay.
tragedy.
Wow. We're gonna show
Anyways.
this again just to get that out of the way.
That's
Yeah, let's wrap it up with Greg on the scoreboard.
Steve
one more time.
Ogg / Greg. That's awesome.
Your reaction is perfect, man. It's so good. Played it cool. I love it. That's so fun.
was a
Tonight
fun-
was awesome.
fun
Seriously.
night.
Thanks to everybody that
lot of
came
fun.
out. This was a super fun takeover. Being in the 100 level was a very different experience, but it was cool. Like, the three of us were in the back row of our section, so like the whole game we could just look upon all the crew in front of us, and it was just cool to see like
Yeah.
everybody having a good time.
Absolutely.
Everybody socializing, hanging out, getting
Yeah.
along.
We
It was
took
very,
a-
very cool.
Took a group photo. Did we show the group photo already?
Oh, we did, but we could show it again because
show the group
photo. Show it
Let's
again.
show the group photo
There we
again.
go.
It's a good,
Fire
it's
it
a good
up
group.
there.
Like having our group together.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
it
again, it
is.
was an awesome time. Love when we get to do these takeovers. It gives us an opportunity to connect with the CHGO community on a one-on-one, face-to-face, personal level. We see you guys in the chat, we see you guys in Discord, see you guys on social media and all that. But when we're able to hang out in person, it just takes it to another level. And we do it with watch parties, do it with takeovers, do it with all our different events, Bears tailgates, the opening day baseball games, Bulls takeovers, everything. Like it is something that the CHGO brand and the CHGO community is able to do that is unique. And yeah, I think it's awesome to be able to make that connection and continue to feel like we are just fans still of this team, and there's always that part of us that connects us to you guys. So yeah, awesome night. Become a diehard. Become a part of be part of the community. Help support us, and just get a ton of access and perks of being part of the community, and it's all good stuff.
One thing I want to say, too, before we wrap up, Mario's wearing his Blackhawks Pride shirt. It was Pride Night at the UC. You saw Conor Bedard and some other Hawks had Pride tape and warm-ups today.
Yeah.
John Hansen, who is the Blackhawks in-game entertainment host, along with Jenna Rose, is part of the LGBTQ plus community. Mm-hmm. And for those that don't really understand why Pride Nights are important, he put out this tweet. It's at John Hansen Talks. He says, "When I was a kid, there weren't Pride Nights. I can only imagine the difference it would have made if my sports heroes and teams made an effort to say that it was okay to be gay. LGBT youth are 4 times more likely to attempt suicide, hopefully these nights make a difference. And I feel like they do. You know, I think there's a lot of people just kind of feel seen and accepted if for one night out of 41 home games a year, they get that time to feel part of things, feel accepted, feel celebrated. It does matter. And even if it's not something that directly impacts your life, first of all, it probably does, and maybe you don't even know it yet. But chances are you know someone or are peripheral to someone in that community. And just being seen and being represented and being celebrated means something. So anytime someone like John can put that message out there, I think it's important. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was a great night. Everybody had a great time. And the every game they honor two military members, and both members tonight were part of the community as well. It's just a great night, top to bottom, just like every theme night they do, from Native American Heritage Night to Black History Month to all the things the Hawks do. They do a great job. And like BJD says, inclusion matters, people matter, bring in everyone. Exactly. Absolutely. Right. So just want to make sure we got John's message out there. And it's a great time. Great job by the Blackhawks. And I'm glad some Hawks took the chance to grab that pride tape and put it on their sticks before the games. Let people know they're welcome there. Just like here. Everybody's welcome here, of course.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Unless you're a Pudwack.
Yes. We will not have Pudwack Appreciation Night. That's in St. Louis. All right, we're back tomorrow at 2:30.
Breaking news, no practice tomorrow.
Thank God.
Hell yeah.
So,
yes, and we're going to have Sean Shapiro.
Yep.
You may
Sean
know him.
Chamberlain Shapiro.
You may know him from his work in the hockey world with EP Rinkside. Does a lot of hockey writing there. He's been around for a while, but he's got a new movie coming out. The Late Game.
The Late Game
is called, about being in a beer league. He's in it. He's going to be here tomorrow. We're going to talk a lot of hockey with him. We'll talk about that movie.
Yep.
They've got a screening later on this week at the historic Pickwick Theater that I believe you can get a bundle ticket to a Wolves game and see the movie all in the same ticket. So,
if you're unable to get out to the screening, it is also available on Amazon Prime.
Yes, sir.
So we'll have Sean talk to us all about it tomorrow and we'll ask him about what he thinks about plus minus and if he's ever been on the Jumbotron.
Yes.
All right, hey,
good time.
By the way, before we go, we have 193 likes. Let's do a like spike before we get out of here. Let's get over that 200 like marker. 3, 2, 1, spike that like button for us.
Spike it.
We'll give you a few seconds to do it, and then we're going to wrap things up.
Give it a rock bottom.
Yes. Right. Oh, and speaking of programming notes, Saturday night, the game between the Hawks and Flyers, we're doing another one of our watch-alongs.
Yes, sir. That'll be fun.
Woo!
Yes. So if you like watch-alongs, hit the like button.
Are we going to get our friends Bill and Charlie from PHLY to chime in on our watch-along?
We should do that. We sent them a link.
We should see if we could try that.
Yeah.
We see if we can try that.
Get Torch to come on.
There it is. We've hit over 200.
Nice.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes. Awesome.
All right. We'll see everybody tomorrow. We love y'all. Thanks for coming out to the takeover. Thanks for being with us on this late night post game. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 2:30 on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.